Let us learn a few things about the shiny blue marble that has fascinated humanity since they first began to walk across its surface. Before we begin, though, make sure to subscribe so that we can keep reminding you of how amazing our planet truly is. Tides on Earth are caused by the gravitational interaction between the Earth and the Moon. The gravitational attraction of the Moon causes the oceans to bulge out in the direction of the Moon. Isaac Newton was the first person to explain tides scientifically. The Earth has an ozone layer which protects it as well as all living beings from harmful solar radiation. This shell is a special type of oxygen that absorbs most of the sun's powerful UV rays. Earth is the only planet in the universe known to possess life. This is because it has two very important things that living creatures need to survive: lots of oxygen and lots of water. Its distance from the sun means it's not too hot and not too cold for creatures to live on also. The planet boasts several million species of life, living in habitats ranging from the bottom of the deepest ocean to a few miles into the atmosphere. And scientists think far more species remain to be discovered. A year on Earth isn't 365 days, it's actually 365.2564 days. This extra 0.2564 days is what created the need for a leap year once every 4 years. Gravity is an invisible force that attracts objects towards each other. It's this force that pulls things towards the Earth and stops us from floating off into space. Despite the feeling like you're standing still, you're actually moving, fast. Depending on where you are on the globe, you could be spinning through space at just over 1,000 miles per hour. People on the equator move the fastest, while some standing on the North and South Pole would be perfectly still. Because our globe isn't a perfect sphere, its mass is distributed unevenly. This means that the uneven mass paves way for slightly uneven gravity. One mysterious gravitational anomaly is in the Hudson Bay of Canada, which has lower gravity than other regions. Believe it or not, Earth used to be purple. According to Shiladitya Sharma, a microbial geneticist at the University of Maryland, life on early Earth may have been just as purple as it is green today. Sharma says ancient microbes might have used a molecule other than chlorophyll to harness the sun's rays. Sharma also thinks chlorophyll appeared after another light-sensitive molecule, called retinol, was already present on early Earth. According to scientists, the Earth was formed around 4.6 billion years ago from a cloud of gas, dust, and rock orbiting the sun. It all started as small chunks of rock sticking together, fusing to become bigger and bigger. It did not stop until it created a sphere, thus creating the planet we now call home. Earth is the only planet not named after a mythological being. Earth's atmosphere is composed of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and trace amounts of other gases, including argon and carbon dioxide. The forests only produce about 20% of the oxygen in our planet's atmosphere. Most of the oxygen, approximately 70%, comes from tiny ocean plants called phytoplankton that live near the water's surface and drift with the currents. At the same time, 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. The remainder consists of continents and islands, which together have many lakes and other sources of water. Earth's water was initially trapped within the planet. Over time, the Earth's water was brought to the surface by the planet's volcanic activity. The Earth is like a great big magnet, with poles at the top and bottom near to the actual geographic poles. Scientists think that this magnetic field is generated by the molten outer core of the Earth. If not for the magnetosphere, particles from the sun's solar wind would hit the Earth directly, exposing the surface of the planet to significant amounts of radiation. The highest point found on Earth is Mount Everest, which reaches a height of 5.4 miles. The lowest point on Earth is called Challenger Deep at 6.7 miles below sea level, which is further than the peak of Mount Everest. Earth has one of the most circular orbits of all the 8 planets. Its axis of rotation is tilted 23.4 degrees away from the perpendicular of its orbital plane. Have you ever wondered why we have different seasons? Well, this is also because of the 23.4 degree tilt. This means that different parts of the globe are tilted towards the sun at different times of the year, or at different times during its orbit, thus producing different seasons. Around 300 million years ago, all of Earth's land masses were joined together as one huge supercontinent called Pangaea. As such, there was also one giant ocean called Panthalassa. While Earth orbits the Sun, the planet is simultaneously spinning on an imaginary line called an axis that runs from the North Pole to the South Pole. It takes Earth 23.934 hours to complete a rotation on its axis and 365.26 days to complete an orbit around the Sun. Earth's core is about 4,400 miles wide, slightly larger than half of the Earth's diameter, and about the same size as Mars' diameter. Earth was once believed to be the center of the universe. For 2,000 years, ancient astronomers believed that the Earth was static and had other celestial bodies traveling in circular orbits around it. They believed this because of the apparent movement on the Sun and planets in relation to their viewpoint. In 1543, Copernicus published his sun-centered model of the solar system, which put the Sun at the center of our solar system. Oxygen is the most abundant element in rocks in Earth's crust, imposing roughly 47% of the weight of all rock. The second most abundant element is silicon at 27%, followed by aluminum at 8%, iron at 5%, calcium at 4%, and sodium, potassium, and magnesium at about 2% each. Planet Earth has one moon and 2 co-orbital satellites. As you're probably aware, Earth has one moon. But did you know that there are 2 additional asteroids locked into co-orbital orbits with Earth? They're called 3753 Cruithnia and 2002 AA. The asteroid known as 3753 Cruithnia measures 5 kilometers across and is sometimes called Earth's second moon. The Earth's atmosphere plays a huge role in sustaining life. The atmosphere, which is basically a huge blanket of gases, is wrapped around Earth. This virtual blanket helps to protect our planet from the sun's strong rays. At the same time, the atmosphere helps keep the Earth's temperature comfortable for living beings.